Dude, I got a great story. Can I tell a story?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got a bunch of great stories. Okay. Did you guys know that you helped a homeless lady move into her first home coming up in the next couple of days?
Was that from our original podcast?
It's from your original podcast. So we did a podcast how many years? 2 years ago?
2.5 years ago.
Okay, so there's a Canadian guy listening. So shout out to Gordon. Gordon listens to the podcast. He goes, "This guy's full of shit. Like, there's no way this Pace guy is real." He comes and meets me in person at a meetup, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, this guy might be real." Gordon quits acting, quits doing all the things he's doing. He is now like full-time real estate investor. He does like 35 deals every single year. Not licensed. I'm a non-licensed guy. I'm not an agent. I'm a real estate investor. Gordon is like just crushing it. Moves to Phoenix, Arizona, where I'm at. And he's like the biggest fan. He asked me, he's like, "Can I go and like shake Graham and Jack's hand?" I was like, "No, Graham, he'll make you take your shoes off when you come to his house. I don't know that Graham's going to be okay with that."
Can't look him in the eye.
Can't look him in the eye. No, so I said, no. But I wanted to give Gordon a shout out. And here's how this happened. In April of this year, I get an email from a homeless lady. And I always like to be the guy that is a practitioner. If I say I can do it, I can promise that anybody can do it. So this lady emails me. Her name's Maddie. April 9th, sends me an email. "Will you help me? I'm in a shelter." I'm like, I get these emails all the time. But then she says, "I'm in Mesa, Arizona," which is right by my house. And I reply back and I go, "I'd love to help you, but you have to let me do a media release so I can share it with the world." So she says, "Okay." I go sit down with her and I go, "Oh, this is easy. I know exactly what she should do." She has no money. She has no education. She's 59-year-old, 4'11" black lady. Her husband died at 55 when she was 55. She's been on the streets for 4 years. Like, imagine what she has. Nothing. She has literally nothing. She has a broken phone that Obama gave her. Like back in 2018, Obama did this awesome legislation, or 2016, that allowed everybody to have a phone. She still has her Obama phone. That's how she got her first deal. How did she get her first deal? Well, she worked with people like Gordon. She went to a guy that listened to your podcast, works a deal with her. She makes $5,000 on her first deal. And now she's worked a second deal with Gordon, and she's now moving into the house. It's a co-living property. So she bought it subject to, she took over the payments, no money down. She's renting out 7 of the rooms and she's living in one for free. So the other 7 rooms are all being rented out for $875 a month. It's covering not only her cost of being there, the mortgage, the utilities, everything. She will net $2,000 a month. So I'm not joking. I'm picking her up from the shelter on the 14th of this month and moving her straight into a home she's buying for $500,000 with no money out of her pocket. That was a domino effect from that podcast that we did.
So you're saying she already has a deal right now?
She has a deal. It's in escrow. She closes on the 14th.
But is this the second deal though that she's going to be moving into?
The second deal. So the first deal, she got paid a finder's fee.
Oh, okay.
So she
doesn't own any real estate.
She doesn't own anything. The first deal, I told her, I go, "Look, Maddie, you shouldn't own anything. You shouldn't manage anything. The first deal you should do." She goes, "Don't I need a license?" "No, you don't need a license." "Pace, don't I need a bank?" "No, you don't need a bank." "Pace, don't I need money?" "No, you don't need money." It's total hogwash. It's total bullshit. It's the traditional mindset. And she goes, "What do I do?" And I go, "You find a buyer in town. You find out what the buyer wants and you go find that deal for them." So she found a fix and flipper in Phoenix, Arizona, just in my free Facebook group. And she says, "What do you want?" The guy says, "I want a 3-bed, 2-bath house in Tempe, Arizona." She went and found people like Gordon, got a deal, brought it to them. She got paid a $5,000 finder's fee. And the sad part is when I picked her up, we got the check at the title company. I took her to the bank. The bank wouldn't let her deposit the money in the account. They were like, "You haven't had money in this account in 5 years. You're telling me you all of a sudden have $5,000? So she had to come out in the parking lot and grab me. She goes, "Can you talk to the banker and tell them like this is not a fake check?" And so we deposit the money. I drop her back off at the shelter. A couple of days later, she goes, "Okay, I'm ready to like move into my own house." I'm like, "Maddie, are you sure? Like you're ready to own a property?" And she goes, "If I can do it with no money, I can do it without credit, and I can rent out the rooms, I can handle it." So Gordon, who listened to the podcast, shout out Gordon, Canadian dude, awesome guy, brings the deal to her. She's moving into it on the 14th. And she'll net $2,000 a month on that little house.
Now, the risk, though, is that because she's taking over this house, she's relying on the rental income from renting out the other units to make the payment.
Yeah.
What happens if something between the tenants goes wrong, or there's a major repair, or something happens to the house, and all of a sudden she doesn't have the income to pay for this?
Okay, so a couple of things. Graham's mind always goes to risk. This lady's in a shelter. The worst thing that could happen to her is that she goes back into a shelter. So let's like hit that home first and foremost. Okay. So she's in a shelter right now, going into a home. And if these tenants don't pay, then she's not educated. First and foremost, you don't buy stuff that people aren't going to pay. Guys, Dave Ramsey is wrong about one thing. He's right about so many things. I love him. I think he's one of the greatest marketers. When he says stuff like, oh, the tenants don't pay the mortgage. Yes, they do. Look at do you not see my P&L? I will show you my P&L open. Of course they pay the payments. You don't buy something that you can't handle vacancy rate. If the vacancy goes down, or let's say vacancy goes up and I can't make my payments, I should have never bought that deal. You do your risk tolerance all up front. So she's renting. Do you guys know, have you ever heard of Padsplit? Okay, I know you have.
Sounds familiar.
Okay, so Padsplit is a company that is nationwide. And what they do is they handle the management of these tenants. They fill the rooms, they collect the money. The occupancy on that house and that neighborhood, they've already done the underwriting, and they say, even if you had 2 or 3 tenants that all moved out at the same time, this property will still cash flow. The average occupancy of a Padsplit is like 90%. So if she has 9 tenants in there, she's going to average 8 people in the house at any given time. They rent by the week. So she's not renting. These people are not tenants. They do not have a lease agreement. It's a club. Oh my gosh, man, we could talk about this for an hour. Padsplit has gone around all the leasing laws. They've gotten around all the residential rental laws by creating a club. So when you're a renter in this house, you are a member of a club and you pay a weekly fee. This is in every country or every state, by the way, guys. Padsplit.com. I don't own the company. We just use the platform. It's awesome. So Padsplit brings in the tenants. The average tenant is paying $875 a month. They get their rent, their cleaning, their utilities, their internet, their pool, their landscape, all included for the $875. So it's affordable housing. This is the thing that's going to make a lot of people upset. People that live in nice neighborhoods that houses are not selling, guess what investors are doing with them? And what are investors doing with Airbnbs as well? Airbnbs got smashed the last couple of years. And I told people 5 years ago, get the hell out of Airbnb. It's the worst model. That's risk. Like, you're relying on the economy and people traveling. What Maddie's relying on is people paying rent that is so affordable. The average rent for something similar is $1,400. She's renting out for $875. Where's her risk? Well, I guess if everybody dies in one day, I guess that could all happen. In that situation, I guess she moves back into the shelter.
And what about repairs?
That's all included. Like, if you look at all of our P&Ls, the repairs are 10% of all the income. So if I bring in $160,000 into that apartment building, for example, we put $16,000 a month to the side before we even consider that even profit. Like, that's part of CapEx. It's part of Ben Mall is probably one of the best at even talking about this. Mm-hmm. You put that money to the side before you even put it at the bottom of the sheet, if that makes sense.